everyone, and welcome back to World War Sprue. I'm in the middle of preparations for Operation Sealion campaign, and today I will be discussing some of the rules we'll be using, as well as giving you a quick overview of some of the units that will be making their debut. Starting with units that will be making their debut, we have the Panzer IIIe on the far right. That will be represented as a Tauk Panzer early on, and later on as a Panzer IIIe of the 7th Panzer. We have these pair of cruisers, which were meant to be sent in a task force to the Western Desert, but obviously have been pulled out to defend England. We have these Vickers VICs with clever tank names on the side. We have a Beaverette light armored car. We have an Italian CV-35, which will be liaison for battleships. We have this Bren carrier, which I already have several, but this one will be making its debut. Pack 36, already have one, but like the Bren carrier, will be making its debut. And finally, a 2-pounder, which the crew are still being painted. Also got some terrain pieces in the back that we'll be working on. But I'm going to set this here now and just talk for a moment about the forces we'll be using in the rules. So the first thing that'll be important is command points. Command points are, each side starts with 3. They can be won in battles, and they can be used to make a unit that is rationed, not rationed. They can be used to replace an NCO's rating. So if you don't like the rating you got on one of your NCOs, you can replace his rating with CP. They can be used to occupy captured vehicles for the Germans, and they can be used to bring in reinforcements abound faster for the British. The next important thing to note is going to be, I'll give you some close-up views here. Next important topic is how the games are working themselves. So we will start with playing an entire day until till German objectives on S Day have been secured. S Day is their invasion day. And then after that, we will play until each day that is significant until the Germans have either secured London or the British have pushed them back into the sea. The days themselves will last until that day's objectives are taken. In addition to taking objectives, there will also be positions that must be held. To hold them, we will use the accumulator rule, specified more importantly and in greater detail in the mission at hand when that comes to pass. In other words, we'll cross the bridge when we come into it. In terms of unit structure, there are 3 phases. The first phase is the German invasion, which will last until the 3rd day. That's phase 1. The second phase, phase 2, is going to be until the Germans break out, because the British will obviously put up resistance. And the final phase, phase 3, will be the drive to London. So we're doing this very D-Day-esque. Another important thing to note is that the phases are going to change, perhaps, should breakouts occur earlier or later. Another thing is that this is highly hypothetical. We are venturing deep in the realm of alternative history. For example, this is assuming that the RAF has been mostly defeated, which means the Luftwaffe can cover the fleet from the Royal Navy. However, should the Royal Navy make a breakout or a storm breakout in the Channel, all German units will immediately become rationed until that can be remedied. The British will, of course, have allied contingents. One of the most common ones we'll see will be the Polish company, the Polish infantry company, and the French tank company, since those are the most allies that I have. I'll be using Russians to represent the Polish, and I have a Samoa that will represent the French. Finally, the most important thing to remember is that because this is alternative history, we will take some alternative history liberties. For example, I'm assuming naturally that the British will wait in towns to gather their forces and counterattack the Germans instead of meeting them right on the beachhead. Whereas the Germans will be very aggressive in taking ground. So that's about it for the Operation Sealion rules. First video will be the Fallschirmjäger landing 4 hours beforehand to mess up British columns. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications on so you never miss an Operation Sealion campaign game. Thank you.